Okay, this is the first, oops, gloves are in the way, pallet raised bed we built. May not look good, but with everything going on in the world, this is perfect. Until we can get building supplies again, these are just right above ground. I can also utilize the darn ice storm damage, make like the hugelkultur beds like I've done for years. I did that on all the herb garden raised beds around the farm, and I guess they're on my old YouTube channel. I don't even know where half my videos went. So they're on the first one I did, but basically I did newspapers. Some people call that lasagna. I call it just using your resources. So we use logs, twigs, paper, cardboard, you name it, all kinds of compost. And I've showed you in a few previous videos when we deconstructed the strawberry bed back here and took that out, that rich soil. Same thing I did, made the richest soil, almost powdery. So it's definitely a good thing to just use this. I have injuries, I have disabilities. Gardening on the ground is just not an option for me. I'll be honest, there's sometimes I get down on the ground and I cannot get back up. I've been hit with vehicles 3 different times and a couple really, really bad car accidents. I've had a lot of broken bones. I still have fractures. Had head and neck injuries. I've been through the gamut. So me taking care of myself is the best way to go. And furthermore, the Bermuda. This is the way, with this plastic in here, to not have to deal with the darn Bermuda. I hate Bermuda. You just cannot win with Bermuda. And I can tell you that because we've built other raised beds. And if you don't put that plastic up, we rebuilt these, and I told my husband the Bermuda's going to get right in there. And sure enough, see? So, again, I'm going to have to deconstruct these. Pull that soil out and start over, and it makes me sick. But you cannot grow with Bermuda. You just cannot. It takes over. So I kind of wasted all that good soil in there and all the composting we did in there. The only thing I can do to save that soil would be to take it out, sift it, get all the rhizomes out, and compost it in some bins for about a year. Put fresh in there, and then I can see how that goes. But this is pallets. I have some other big projects that are costing a lot, and so I can either spend a lot of money putting in more raised beds like the ones we started last year, or I can have a really big project and make do with some of these. What I thought I would do was a bunch of these back here, and then down the road when the prices go down on building material and we can access materials again, then I can come back in and build the bigger raised beds, but use these for now. And all I would have to do is just take the screws out, pull the pallets away, pull the plastic down, and use that soil. We can just scoop it right up with the tractor and still use that soil in another bed, so it will not go to waste. Because it'll take a long time for that down there to decompose. Probably about 4 or 5 years. And if I could get like 5 or 6 years out of these beds, I'm good with that. If longer, fine. You know, we can at least start down there with those nice raised beds and then work our way back and then just take these apart. So it's definitely just using resources for now. I just can't get down on the ground and fight the Bermuda, and it's just too hard to harvest. And so I was thinking back here, these beds, now I just did these short ones right here. This is just a few pallets. I can leave a little walkway through here, and I can start again like right here, or I could set it right up to it and start a new bed. I just have to be really careful, and I will really have to watch that when I walk up to the bed because of the rattlesnakes and copperheads. So that's kind of a concern, but that's part of the reason I did the tin, is so that I could see the snakes. And there are a lot of them out here, so I'm going to have to really be diligent and be careful and pay attention. A lot of the time I'm in a hurry and I don't pay attention, and that will be my downfall. So I'll have to give me some sticky notes to remind myself. But I think this would be good for now to do this and do all these back here and utilize this ice storm damage and grow under the tree. Thank God this tree did not sustain too much damage. I'm really, really thankful. Because if you look at my video during the ice storm, I thought for sure that I had lost a bunch of stuff in it because all that was laying on the ground. I thought it was gone. I thought, oh my gosh. Because it gets really hot here, and it is very hard to grow right here. And the wind comes through here now because we lost all those trees in the fire. And the farm is a lot hotter. That's why I like to grow as much as I can in the shade. Full sun in Oklahoma, where I'm at, in zone 7B, everything cooks. I mean, I kind of showed you videos this past season, last year, of the tomatoes in the sun and the tomatoes in the shade. The ones in the shade were doing far better. Same with bell peppers. I've always grown my bell peppers in the shade. The sun scorches them. So a lot of things just do really well back here in the shade. And once this stuff, I know I've lost some limbs and stuff, but I still think there's still going to be a great deal of shade. There'll be a bunch of new stuff branch out. Well, that's my prayer at least. So I will be collecting pallets, and my husband just cuts them in half for me because he will not let me use that chainsaw. Smart man. I probably cut my arm and legs and everything else off. I just can't control things with my right hand very good anymore. So lifting and trying to use equipment, it's just not really a good option for me. This was hard enough. This was super hard for me. And all we did was just stick the pallets up and after he cut them, and I just took the drilled them in there. Used two different screws. The bigger ones I did right there. I did the big screws, and then for the ends down here where they're not as much wood, I used the smaller screws, and I don't have any more in my pocket, sorry.